Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I listened to my colleague's speech, and I have a question for him. Canada is a G7 country with an advanced economy and citizens who are looking for concrete solutions for the future. Our budget is investing in housing, in infrastructure, and innovation to build a stronger and more resilient and more fair Canada. And yet the Conservative Party is opposed to these essential measures. How can you justify your position? Do you want us to go back to the Stone Age instead of having our country move forward?
For Calgary East.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't find any of that in the budget. In fact, what we saw was what we saw in the last 9 Liberal budgets. Housing is going to get more expensive. Less will get built in Canada. There's a higher deficit, which means Canadians will be paying more for Liberal incompetence. The Prime Minister's banker buddies and bondholders will get more money than what goes to provinces in healthcare transfers, and Canadians will have to line up even more at food banks after this budget was released. What they needed to do was get government out of the way, cap government spending, get rid of the food taxes so food inflation and food costs can come down, and get rid of anti-development laws so Canada can build, build, build.
Good answer.
Questions and comments. Question et commentaire. The honourable member for Wellington Halton Hills North.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's safe to say that the budget is getting panned. Here's just some headlines today on the budget. Canadian aid cuts will bite deeply in global crisis zones, relief agencies say. Budget signals Carney's new tone on climate policy, but not much substance. A generational budget that does little but set federal spending adrift. That article, by the way, was written by the former Associate Deputy Minister of Finance Canada. Another headline, an editorial headline, the Liberals' growing deficit of trust. And I'm going to replace the Prime Minister's formal name with his title. Budget shows Prime Minister doesn't know how tough it is out there on Main Street. Great budget, Prime Minister. It would be a shame if Canadians don't get on side. After all the hype, the Prime Minister's first budget fails to meet the moment. And that's just out of one publication, the Globe and Mail. Here's what the Star headline says. Once again, the Prime Minister doesn't quite live up to the hype. Would the member comment?
The honourable member for Calgary East.
I want to thank my honourable colleague and friend for the tough but fair question, and he's absolutely right. This Prime Minister admits he doesn't even do his own grocery shopping. So how would he know that his failed policies and all the advice that he gave to the previous Prime Minister has made food inflation double what the bank's target rate is, and that their industrial carbon tax, or their oil and gas cap, their food packaging tax has made food more expensive? How would he know, when he doesn't fill his own gas, that his industrial carbon tax or his clean fuel standard is raising the cost of the fuel that Canadians have to put in their tanks to get their kids to school, to get them to sports? It's making life more expensive. We need to get rid of all these illiberal and incompetent policies so Canadians can have an affordable and safe life once again.